Okay, welcome back. This is just to follow up the final assignment, assignment 4. Just explaining how to set up an InDesign file for an 8-page two-fold right angle, kind of like a newspaper fold. So you've got, basically this is the layout here, how it would be set up on the fold itself, but not how it would be set up in the InDesign file. You have to go through a couple steps to get it to this way. So in the end, you're going to have, the front over here, the back over here. They're flopped upside down, the two insides, and then on the other back side, you're going to have, or the inside, if you wish to call it, you're going to have the 4, 5, 6, and 7 panels. They're all going to be inside. You put the big poster through here. Remember to use the crap theory. Use your grids, your style sheets, and overall just keep it nice and clean. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and I'm actually going to show you there's two different files you're going to have to set up. You're going to have to set up one file for the actual, this is the front and the back, and then you've got the two insides, which are these guys. So the one file InDesign file that I just showed you takes care of this, and then the other InDesign file you have to set up is this guy here, and this is your poster side right over here. So what we have to do is in this particular layout, we have to make, I'll get this a bit bigger for you, and I used my template here, my template that was provided as a reference point. What we have to do is we have to, number one, figure out how big we have to make each of these panels. Now the size of the panels is determined by the size of this template. The actual trim area is 4.75 inches by 4.75 inches. So what we're going to do is we are going to, just want to double check on this. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make up a page that's 9.5 wide by 4.7 high. 9.5, where we get that is that's 4.75 times 2. So it's just two of these panels side by side. So I'm actually going to go run through this and do it all over again. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to go OK. First thing we have to do is go to your preferences and change this to inches, so you're not typing in picas or anything else. And then we're going to go back to document setup, which is actually just right down there. And I'm going to set this to 9.5 because that's 4.75 times 2, and the height is going to be 4.75. Bleeds, you want to add bleeds on this thing, so you're going to make the bleeds at least 0.125 of an inch. Note that you've got this little linking thing here, so when this is turned on, it automatically fills right across the side. You don't have to have facing pages turned on or turned off. Actually, I just turn them off, and you go OK. So now you got this guy. So this is great. This is what we have set up. So now what we're going to do, just for reference points, is we're going to make two boxes. And this, we're going to call this our template or grid, however you want to call it. And I'm going to get this turned on, go to the rectangular tool, and I'm going to go ahead and just plop this guy anywhere. And I'm going to make this guy 4.75 square. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure this is in the topmost corner, because I gotta overlay this stuff, and this is my guide. So I can do it two ways. I can zoom in here real tight, and I can kind of go in here and eyeball this and make sure it's like so. Or you can do it the other way, which is using the actual coordinates of the page. Now up here, you've got this little guy's way over in the corner, way over in the left-hand corner here. You've got this guy up here, and this, of course, is your reference points. And notice when these numbers, the x and the y, notice wherever I change these x and the y coordinates also change, because you're taking coordinates measurements from the reference point in the center, or from the top left hand corner, top right hand corner. What you want to do is click right up here, get a reference point in the top left hand corner, and that should be, the x and the y should read 0, 0. Why? Because when you place this square up in the top extreme top left hand corner of your document, that's the 0, 0. There's the 0 there, and if I hide all this stuff, I'm just going to bring this over and up so you guys can see. There's the 0, 0, right? So I'm just going to bring this over, and you can see actually when you're moving, when I grab onto this thing, you can see the actual coordinates, the x and the y coordinates on this little gray box right beside my cursor, and I will tell you there also. But you can also just type in 0, 0 up here, and it's just way faster. just so you know. Too many zooms. Okay, so once we have that set up, you can either copy and paste it and line it up, or you can do Command Shift U. There we go. Option Command U, and that's step and repeat. So we want to do a repeat of once, and we want to do a horizontal offset of 4.75, because we're going to actually just take this one box, we're going to copy it, but we're also going to move it over, you know, the exact width, which will give me a perfect setup for the document. So you'll see what happens if I click on preview. There it is. It flops right over to the other side, lines up perfectly right down the middle, bisects this document, and also lines up perfectly on each side. So once that's done, there's your grid. So there's your two panels. Now what you could do if you want, so you can go in here just to make things easier for you, is what I often do is I go up here and I just label these. There's my front, there's my back. Okay, now all we have to do is go to our pages. I'm going to duplicate that spread. I'm just going to call this inside inside. There we go. And that would be how you'd set up the first chunk. Okay. Now, to set up the next chunk, well, what it'd really be is, actually I better save this. We'll save this as, let's see, 4.75 by 9.5, just to make it simple and easy. Okay, so for the next piece, which is the poster itself, this guy, well, really this is just a 9.5 by 9.5 size file. So we'll go ahead and we'll make a new file here, go OK, get our preferences set up. And then we're going to go to 9.5 by 9.5. Now we got this nice big file here. Now what we could do, you could draw another 4.75, 4.75 box, or you can go back to your one guy right here. Actually copy two of them if you want. Paste them in place. Make sure those coordinates are 0, 0, and then you can go to step and repeat again. This time instead, you can do the vertical offset of 4.75. There you go. Done. Name your layers template or grid. Lock them down, and now you're ready to go. Now, this is part 2 of the 3-part step. So the last part, what's going to happen is you're going to actually have to duplicate this once more, and then take these these pieces and place them into this second page, and reverse the other, the front and the back, which gets kind of confusing. And we'll cover that in a second.